Hello, workmates. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH, your go to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness, where chill convos meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.
Hello, workmates. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH, your go-to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness, where chill convos meet real-life lessons because it works. I am Chris, and today we're talking about family, leadership, and how tradition meets innovation in one of the most magical places in the country. Our guest today grew up surrounded by roller coasters, carousels, and fireworks. She comes from the family behind Enchanted Kingdom and now leads as its head for innovation, business development, digital transformation. Please welcome Miss Anna Mamon Aban to the podcast. So, hi Anna. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH. Thank you so much for joining us in our podcast.
Thank you so much, Mary Chris. Happy and honored to be here.
Yes, I was sharing with you a while ago. So when Enchanted Kingdom opened in 1995, I was a senior year student in Les Isabel, and we were all so excited to visit Enchanted Kingdom. So every year after 1995, would really go to Enchanted Kingdom. I think our favorite rides were still the log cabin, all the wet rides.
So like Jungle Log Jam.
Jungle Log Jam. And then the you ride the tube, tapos four kayo.
The
River.
the Jungle Log Jam. We still have the Anchors Away.
Yes. And the river. No,
Rio Grande. Rio
Yeah.
Grande.
Yes.
Actually, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary last weekend. Enchanted Kingdom was founded way back in October 1995. I was actually a high school junior then, so one batch lower. And it was founded by my dad, Cesar Mario Mamon. He's currently the chairman and president of Enchanted Kingdom. And he had some funding from different businesses before, and he and his brother-in-law Lito Minguez just decided, what can we do with this opportunity, with this piece of land here in Santa Rosa, Laguna. And one of the things that came up was to set a theme park. And so they worked with several partners and worked with also some foreign consultants as well as foreign companies, those that also developed other theme parks abroad. And that's how Enchanted Kingdom came about. There are other names as well that came up on how to name the park, but Enchanted Kingdom eventually was what they came up with. And so you will see some of the rides here have been there from the start, but over
very
time-
well maintained, Anna. Kasi
Thank you
now
so
with
much.
my son, most of the birthday parties or Christmas outing, Enchanted Kingdom talaga, because we buy the 1 year
That's right.
1 year ticket pass, and then
Yeah,
with the VIP pass, you won't have to line up.
Yes, that's Experience the Magic Card. It's
Yes.
3-8, good for 1 year, unlimited visits per
Unlimited
year.
visit.
Yeah, so we've had people from as far as, Quezon City and other provinces at Calabarzon and nearby have that annual pass. So we're very happy because we have a big chunk of that loyalty card holders
Yes,
visiting.
even our BPO clients would rent your whole park. Like AFNI BPO would have their family day there. So they'd invite us, and then the whole park is only for the employees. So, and then they have already their raffle, their Christmas get together in your activity center. So perfect really to have your Enchanted Kingdom to be part of the what we can offer in the Philippines, Anna.
Yes, I'm so happy that we have, as you mentioned, the BPOs. No, we have so many companies, Filipino companies, international companies that have been booking the park, either exclusively or just for team building and
Yes.
visits. It's a way of them treating their employees and the families to a day
Yes.
of magic at EK. So we're very happy, and it's not just once that they go. Some of them have been our family day visitors for our customers for 10 years now and things like that. So it's very meaningful to us that we continue to provide that magical experience to them and their families.
And Santa Rosa as a location, before it felt so far, but now since the developments in Nuvali, going up to Tagaytay with all the developments there, so there's more people visiting EK now,
Yes, definitely more people visiting.
and
you
all
could
the
even-
schools in Nuvali.
Yeah, you could even experience the traffic is when coming from Manila to Nuvali is shorter the travel time is shorter sometimes than just going around Manila. So it's really becoming a place where young families, retirees, different families can settle and have enjoy the fresh air and the good space.
Did you always see yourself joining the family business, Anna?
That's a good question. Actually, of course, when I was a teenager, all these past 30 years, Enchanted Kingdom has always been there as part of my personal life, right? And it was always maybe in the back of my mind that I could join later on. But the good thing, our parents never forced us or expected us to join the business. And what we did, because I have four siblings, there's Yoni, myself, the eldest daughter, there's Bea and Nico. There's four of us. And we really carved our own paths. We went to different places. We worked in different places without having, the Enchanted Kingdom brand linked to us. And we basically built on our expertise outside of the company. And eventually we all moved back and are now working here. So I would say that the passion for working at EK is definitely close to my heart. And it has always been at the back of my mind, but it just felt naturally with some changes in my personal life. So we had three kids already. We lived in the US and we just decided to the business. Yeah. So I lived in the US in Silicon Valley, Cupertino, California for 12 years. I was director of business development there. And so at that stage when we had a growing family, getting older, and also, my parents were getting older, we just naturally decided to move back and contribute to the business.
And I'm sure your dad's so happy because you're already living in Silicon Valley and the whole tech world.
Yes, they're very happy that we moved back to help. And of course, it's a plus that they get to see their apos, all of their apos regularly.
Yes.
And I was, whatever we thought was, simple or regular stuff in the US, we were able to bring here, and it helped advance and instill innovation in the park. So it's very exciting that we were able to contribute and introduce new things to the park.
So what are the new exciting plans for EK? I know you've celebrated your 30th year. What are the next plans of EK, Anna?
So just to share also the recent innovations, the recent changes that we introduced with the park. No? So as we celebrated our 30th year, before we celebrated our 30th year, we had some rides that underwent changes. So first is Aguila the Experience. You've been to Aguila the Experience.
Yes.
So it's actually my favorite.
Yes, it's also my new favorite.
Right?
Yeah.
You should come back and try the new version because outside there are flying theaters, but this one is really something that promotes national pride, promotes the Philippines.
Because you get to visit the different islands.
Yes, without spending for plane fare. Encourages you to discover more of the Philippines. So that's very close to my heart because I love traveling. So with Aguila, what we did was we made it more immersive and educational. We have what we call an edutainment program, which is a mix of education and entertainment. So the Aguila the Experience was relaunched with Aguila the Experience Sari Buhay, which essentially means biodiversity. And so as soon as you step inside the lobby of Aguila, you would see that it's more themed now. There are like different levels that are more themed. That's coral reefs. If you're underwater, we added the underwater content. So it's a mix of the original and new content, which makes it very exciting. Plus, we have an augmented reality or AR feature wherein if you point your camera to a QR and then point it toward the giant mural, the waves come into life.
Oh, wow.
The dolphin, and even the Aguila.
This is all part of the Aguila, right? There's like like Aguila 1, Aguila 2. Or
This is part of the main lobby. So basically, when you're waiting, there's a safety video, and there's a giant mural behind you. It was existing before, but we enhanced it. So when you point your camera there, there's an augmented reality feature, and then you go up the different ramps. Each level has a different theme already. And also the film and film itself is also enhanced, as well as the different stages that you go there. So that's Aguila pa lang, no? That's Aguila Experience. We also relaunched the space shuttle where there's more enhanced like ride monitoring, etc. And also for the anniversary, we just did it for the past 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. We had projection mapping on our Ferris wheel, the Wheel of Fate.
yes.
we show the history of
EK.
Enchanted Kingdom, kind of showing like very fond memories of EK. Aside from that, in Aguila, the experience, going back to that, we also promote basically sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
And because when you go outside, there is an hydroponics area where we grow lettuce, and those lettuce that are grown there
Yes.
also being served as salads or ingredients
In the restaurants.
restaurant. Yes, so that's something new that we are trying to do, which is to have sustainability inside the park. We've also worked with foreign consultants to make sure that we map out our 3-year, 5-year, 10-year plan,
Yeah.
because of course we are trailblazers in the industry. So we have to make sure that we plan ahead and plan well for the future of the organization. So I would say those are the latest that we
Have in
shared.
the pipeline.
Yes, in the pipeline. So come visit so you can see. Of course, we have a new ride. I don't know if you've been, but last March, Eclipse is our new ride.
Eclipse is what kind of ride is this, Anna?
So basically, if you ride the Eclipse, it's like you're inside the washing machine or the electric fan, something like that. So it's like you're spinning. It's kind of like Air Race, if you've seen Air Race. It's a little similar. And it's near exit where we also have our retail, which is retail dining experience, which is the Portico area. It already has a Starbucks and a Mary Grace.
So these are all the digital transformation done in EK. And EK, and what I like about EK is you always highlighted, the Filipino pride, through your Aguila ride, even to the characters that you use. How does the park cope with and reflect the culture of the Philippines in its attractions and the overall vision? Has this always been part of the vision of Enchanted Kingdom?
Of course, yes. Being a Filipino company and catering to Filipino families, it's very important for us to keep and instill the Filipino culture in all that visit. So I think starting from when we opened the park, our foreign consultant, our original creative director, Bob Dennis, he actually taught around 30 to 40 art sets. And they were the ones who painted the area near the Brooklyn Place, which is near Rialto.
Yes.
They who painted basically the scenery. So it's Filipino made, taught by our consultant. So that in a way, it helps show the artistry or the expertise of the Filipinos. We also work closely with DepEd, with DOT, with DTI, and we practice the Filipino brand of service excellence, where we say mabuhay, magical morning, mabuhay, enchanting morning. So interspersed throughout the park is where we promote definitely Filipino pride and Filipino culture. But we have a dedicated area or zone, which is the cultural village, where you can see Aguila the Experience. So in that area, we highlight it for students who visit the park because it promotes national pride.
Yes.
It teaches you about geography. It teaches you about sustainability and advocacy, of course, for the Philippine eagle, because Aguila means eagle. And we adopted Enchanting Kagitingan when we first opened the park. When we first opened Aguila, the name of the eagle that we adopted is Enchanting Kagitingan. So if you go to the Philippine Eagle Foundation in Davao, we have an adopted eagle there. So that's also one of our advocacies, is biodiversity, taking care of wildlife and also nature.
In the future, do you plan to have your own characters and eventually do cartoons?
Yeah,
or
right
digital
now.
content?
Yes. So right now, we have what we call Storyverse, which is composed of our different lovable characters which represent the different zones. Of course, the most popular now is Elder the Wizard, our lovable wizard and mascot. We also have our twin princesses, Princess Victoria and Madeline, and Benny and T-Tops, the dinosaurs that represent our Boulderville area. So we have different characters, including the Aguila area. And in Aguila, we even have a new character, the eagle ray, called Sinag. So Sinag is like a very cute blue eagle ray. So I would say we do incorporate them in our merchandise. We do incorporate them in our shows. And hopefully online content is possible. We have animation of them as well.
Yes.
So that's something that's a good suggestion that you mentioned about our characters. So we do have plans to promote them more.
Because they're so well known already, diba? Like for me, senior, I grew up with it, and then now my son, who's 12 years old, but grew up in EK.
Yes. So we actually developed some virtual content during the pandemic as well, and hopefully they'll have their own cartoons soon.
How do you balance tradition with innovation to keep the park relevant to the new generation, like to the Gen Z, Generation Alpha?
Yeah, so for us, we always make sure that we don't forget the basics. We don't forget the messaging. We don't forget the values that started EK. And that is why when you visit EK, you still see the old classics, you still see the old rides and the performances, but there is somehow an enhanced part of it, right? So we could adopt technology in making it more efficient, in making it faster, in making it more immersive, but then we still make sure that the basic foundation is there. I think that's what's important even in our personal lives, right? So we still have our values, even if
Yes.
there's technology, social media, games, or and everything. We make it a point that we stick to our core. We don't forget or lose sight with our core, and I think that's what makes us very lovable still for
Yes.
people our age and even our children.
And a family business can be both rewarding and challenging. For those stepping into family businesses, what's your advice for balancing family dynamics with professional roles and decision making?
That's a very good question. I would say it's always important to have mutual respect for everyone. Everyone is different. It doesn't have to be, even if you're not family members, right? In a corporation, everyone has their own unique skill sets, strengths and weaknesses, expertise. And so, even in the family, we just have to respect and honor, I guess, the different skills that each one of us has. And listen, make sure to listen to each one. We come from different generations, so there may be, differences in thinking, but at least we're both open, we both share the same values and the same goals. So that's, I would say,
And
my
how do you
advice.
resolve conflicts?
We still try to talk it out,
You
and
don't make it last a week.
yes. Don't make it last a week. If you need time to park the conversation and just revisit it later on, because problems or issues, they not all can be solved overnight, right? So it really takes some dialogue and compromise between the family or between both parties.
And to wrap things, let's go back to something personal. Finally, what's the most important advice you'd receive that continues to guide you in your journey, Anna?
Yeah, so I was actually speaking with my mom about the interview, and I was telling her about this question. And I said that I remember that she was advising me to stay humble, and it's always good to start from the bottom or learn about operations or learn about integrity, because when I had my first job straight out of college from Ateneo, I had a job that was more related to customer service and credit. It was my first job offer. I accepted it, and day one or day two, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of hard. It's challenging and a bit manual." And she was like, "Just try to stick it out. Just try to stick it out." I was later kind of like the most mature, not mature, but most senior among that group, because the person retired already, so they were depending on me. So I was there for 2 years, but then my background in customer service, in credit and operations, that actually became an advantage for me, because on my second year, there were two different divisions who were inviting me to move over as an account manager, as a salesperson in their groups. So without even applying, I was able to prove my worth, and I think any background, anything that in different divisions or different topics will still help you and propel you to where you want to be. It will help build your character and help shape you to be a better leader.
I agree with you. It's really important to stay humble, to stay curious. I always say, you just need to give your best every single day. And eventually it will lead you, to where you want to be. It's just those small steps of showing up, staying humble, staying curious, giving it your best every single day.
And if I may add as well, right? So it's also important to be nice to people, be kind to people. Sometimes if there are some challenging people I encounter or
Oh
guests
yes,
or
how do you handle difficult situations
oh,
or clients, Anna?
so my background, of course, business development and
Yeah.
digital transformation. I manage relationships, I build, grow, and nurture relationships. I bring in a lot of partners to the park. And then on the digital transformation side, of course, aside from implementing technology, we launched the online store, our app. My team also handles our social media. So inquiries, concerns, complaints. And so we just continue to be authentic and be service oriented and listen to them and try to listen to their needs and see how we can address their concerns. But what's important is whatever emotion is being hurled at us, it's still important to be kind. So that's why there's the saying called kill them with kindness, because
Yes.
as long as they know that you're listening to them, as long as you treat them well and they see the sincerity in your
Yes.
heart, any type of emotion, you can melt that, and you can convert them to, to go back or to be a loyal customer.
Yes.
So I would say that. So it's really making sure that you're kind, you're authentic, you stick to your values, and everything will work out
I
fine.
agree. So, Anna, with AI now, do you plan to incorporate AI in your customer service process?
Yes, that's a good question. No? So I wanted to add also that I'm one of the board members of DMAP, so Digital
Mhm.
Marketing Association of
Mhm.
the Philippines, and we're doing a lot of education with regard to that and events as well.
Mhm.
For the park, we recently had like trainings about AI just so
Mhm.
people know more about it, and it's something that we do plan to adopt.
Yes.
But as everyone says, we use it as a tool to further improve our job.
Mhm.
We are confident that it will not replace our jobs, but
Yes.
we need to have the expertise revolving around technology or AI for us to be more effective. So
Mhm.
it's more of Merly Jaime from the Digicon, the digital convention, was
Yes.
able to share about it, that AI is your sidekick, right? So you can train it; it's there with you, but you still control the narrative. You still make it your own, and that's what we plan to do at Enchanted Kingdom. So it's not all technology, because in
There's still
dealing
a
with
human component.
the human component,
Yeah.
it's not black and white. So technology is something we embrace, and but still keep the empowerment of our people.
And the magic lives on.
Right, the magic lives forever, and as our theme for 30th anniversaries, we are forever enchanted.
Oh, that's your new tagline for the 30th year, Forever Enchanted.
Forever enchanted. That's right.
Thank you so much, Anna, for being with us and sharing the Enchanted Kingdom story. I'm sure all our listeners, have been to Enchanted Kingdom and is really interested to know more about what's in it for Enchanted Kingdom. So we'll definitely try the Eclipse ride, if not Halloween, for Christmas. Thank you so much, Anna, for giving us a glimpse not just into the magic of Enchanted Kingdom, but also into the heart and vision that drive it forward. Your story shows how tradition and innovation can go hand in hand, and how leadership really is about building experiences that last beyond yourself. To our listeners, I hope Anna's journey reminds you that whether you're part of a family business or building your own path, success isn't about what you create, it's about being true to your values while being open to change. Like Enchanted Kingdom, we all have the chance to blend the old and the new to build something meaningful for ourselves and future generation. Don't forget to follow Work and Talk in PH for more episodes like this where we highlight work that matters and the people behind it. Again, I am Chris and this is Work and Talk in PH, your go-to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness.